Well, guys, Crafty Coder here. Wanted to show the new iOS 7 user interface for Motobrain. This version of Motobrain has the analog inputs on it, so there have been some changes to go along with that. And otherwise, the changes that have been made were just to accommodate iOS 7 and their new screen widgets. Most of the changes will be self-evident when you look at them. But let's start with taking a look at the new analog inputs and see how that works. And you can see we have 4 inputs across the top. The final version will have 8, but right now we just have the 4. And you can see that 1, 3, and 4 are floating, meaning there's nothing connected to them. I'm about to pull input 4 low, so it turns green. I'm going to push input 4 high, it turns orange. And input 2 looks a little different. You can see it's got that white bar at about, 8 o'clock or so. What that is it indicates that input 2 is set up as a potentiometer. So when you ramp up the voltage on input 2, when you hit the low threshold, it will turn purple until it gets to the high threshold. And then it turns orange. And you can see while it's shifting around where you are in its relative voltage compared to the threshold. So let's take a look at what those inputs are. Input 2. Now, you can see here that it's set as a logarithmic pot. The target circuit is circuit 2. And the current voltage up at the top, you can see set up input 2-3.3 volts. That's the input voltage. I'm turning it down now with my finger on the pot. And I'm turning it up. Now, the third section there, analog voltage threshold, that sets the low voltage. So that input would appear green on the screen if it's below 4 volts, and the target circuits will have the duty cycle set to, in this case, 0%, because it's all the way to the left, and the duty cycle above high threshold set to about 66%, and so at above 66 or at above 9 volts, the output 2 will go to about 66%. And since it's set up as a potentiometer, if you're between 4 or 9, it will adjust the duty cycle between 0 and 66, in this case on a logarithmic curve. But we could make it a linear curve if we wanted to by selecting linear pot. And that's essentially the story. So let's take a look at it again. And right about now we're going to hit 4 volts, and we do. And so we're turning it up. And we're almost to 9 volts. There we are. And it's at 62%. Now we're turning it back down. And that's pretty much the story. The rest of it hasn't changed much. We can look at that. The input programming is about the same. It's got some iOS 7 look and feel to it, but that's about it. So thanks for paying attention. Talk to y'all later.